Teresa Giudices' daughter joining Bravo's spinoff in Manhattan. Real Housewives of New Jersey star Teresa Giudice seems very proud of her daughter rising up to her own reality TV show. Giudice has spoken about her daughter getting into a new Bravo spin-off series with several other celebrity kids. Of course, Teresa will be involved as well with the new show. Here is what you need to know about the new Giudice spin-off Bravo series. Teresa Giudice talks Gia's new Bravo reality TV series. Giudice is starring in a new Bravo reality TV series along with other Bravo kids. The show is called Making It in Manhattan, and Teresa Giudice will also be involved in the new series. Teresa seems excited about it, even if she doesn't know the names of all the kids in the show. Other than Gia, Meredith Marks' son Brooks, Kandi Burruss's daughter Riley, and Kim Zolciak's daughter Ariana Bierman are also going to be involved in the series. Teresa spoke about the show at a recent event via Instagram. "I don't know if you guys heard Gia. She's gonna be on the show with many of the Bravo kids," Teresa said at the event. "It's Gia Brooks, Meredith's son, Kim Zolciak's daughter Ariana, Kandi's daughter Riley, and a few others that I don't know their names." She then revealed she is also on the show, and it will hit Bravo in either February or March 2025. Teresa also spoke about Gia's appearance on the show and said she has high hopes for her daughter. According to Teresa, Gia will likely one day be a housewife in the franchise. What is Making It in Manhattan on Bravo about? There have been no official details by the network yet about Making It in Manhattan. However, there was Teresa Giudice and her comments on the show, as well as a small press release from Bravo announcing the series. The series follows a tight-knit group of friends who navigate the trials and triumphs of young adulthood. The release also said that some of the young adults hail from the spotlight of well-known families. Others have created a legacy of their own. The show focuses on their survival in New York City via Bravo. Together they will challenge societal norms, redefine success, juggle personal and romantic relationships, and lean on each other for support in order to turn their skyline-high aspirations into reality. There are rumors that Kimora Lee and Russell Simmons' daughter Ming Lee Simmons and YouTube star Dylan Geik will join the series. Other rumors include Connor Kennedy and Ava Dash. Gia Giudice was ready for the spotlight, no longer as the wide-eyed little girl we first saw in her mom's chaotic, sometimes glamorous, sometimes scandalous world of New Jersey housewives, but as an ambitious young woman forging her own path. Bravo had been circling around the idea for years, waiting for the right moment to bring Gia to the forefront. Now, in the midst of her last year of college, a new chapter was about to begin, a spin-off with her mom, Teresa, based in Manhattan. Gia's transition from Jersey to New York was a significant one, symbolizing a shift from the suburban life, where everyone knew her as Teresa Giudice's daughter, to the big city, where she could try to make her own name in the fashion and social scenes. The show was tentatively titled Giudices in the City, with producers hoping it would deliver the perfect blend of drama, fashion, and the hustle and bustle energy that New York promised. The first day of shooting began in Gia's new apartment on the Upper East Side. It was small by Giudice standards but chic and filled with her personality. Photographs with her sisters, her favorite books on fashion and business, and of course, a little shrine of memories from her late grandparents. Teresa, stepping into her daughter's new world, felt both proud and sentimental. "Gia, this place is adorable," Teresa exclaimed as she stepped in, her camera-ready smile brighter than ever. "It's so, look at these photos. You remember that day?" She pointed at a framed picture of them at the Jersey Shore. Gia grinned, adjusting the framed picture of the two of them covered in beach sand, matching grins with their arms wrapped around each other. "Of course, ma. It's been a journey, huh?" But behind the smiles, there was a hint of tension between mother and daughter. Teresa couldn't help but feel a little uneasy. Gia was growing up, becoming her own person, and while Teresa wanted to support her, she was also still learning how to navigate this phase. Manhattan would test their relationship in ways neither of them fully anticipated. Filming moved from Gia's apartment to some of New York's most iconic locations, giving Gia the chance to live out her fashion aspirations. The first major event for Giudices in the city was New York Fashion Week. Gia had managed to score an invite to a high-profile runway show, thanks to her connections in the industry. The cameras captured every moment as she prepared, selecting her outfit with a stylist and slipping on sky-high heels. As she and Teresa arrived at the venue, they were met with flashes of cameras and eager fans. Gia felt a mixture of excitement and nerves. This was the world she wanted to be part of, yet being Gia Giudice from Real Housewives had its own shadow. But for now, she owned it, giving the photographers her best confident smile as she and Teresa linked arms and posed. Backstage, though, Gia's inner conflict came to the surface. She wanted so badly to be respected as Gia, the individual, not just as Teresa Giudice's daughter. The challenge of balancing fame with self-discovery was real, and Manhattan would test her in more ways than one. The turning point of the night came when she bumped into a young designer, Alexei Romanov, who had been making waves in the fashion industry. Tall, effortlessly stylish, and refreshingly humble, he had no idea who she was at first. "You have a great eye," he said, catching her mid-sentence as she chatted with Teresa about the intricacies of the show's latest line. "I've been watching you. You're really tuned into this." Gia, taken aback, felt herself blush. "Thank you. I try. Fashion's kind of my passion." Teresa leaned in with her classic mom intensity, her eyes sizing up this designer. "Gia's really got a talent, you know. Since she was a little girl, she's had an eye for style." She smiled, proudly giving her daughter's hand a squeeze. Alexei laughed, warmly, offering his hand to Teresa. "A pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Giudice," he said, catching on. "So fashion runs in the family." Teresa laughed, adding a sprinkle of her signature charm. "Oh, you could say that. We know our way around a closet, that's for sure." As the night wound down, Teresa watched from a distance as Gia and Alexei chatted about his upcoming line and a potential internship opportunity for her. There it was, Gia breaking away, making her own moves, stepping out of Teresa's shadow. Teresa felt a pang of both pride and nostalgia, memories of her own youthful dreams coming back to her. The dynamic between Gia and Teresa, already filled with so much history, was quickly becoming the beating heart of Giudices in the city. Teresa's pride was unwavering, but so was her protectiveness. Over the next few weeks, as filming continued, tensions bubbled up. Their bond, as close as it was, had its struggles. Gia, now living in a world filled with pressure, faced decisions she'd never had to make before. Teresa's life advice sometimes felt out of touch to Gia, whose dreams didn't always align with her mother's vision for her. In one memorable scene, they sat at a cafe overlooking Central Park. Teresa suggested a business partnership, envisioning a fashion line they could launch together. Gia, sipping her iced latte, took a deep breath before responding, choosing her words carefully. "Mom, I love that you're always supporting me," she began, trying to ease into what she needed to say. "But I really want to make it on my own first. Just like Gia, not just Teresa's daughter. I hope that makes sense." Teresa looked surprised, but she nodded slowly. "I get it, Gia. I'm so proud of you, and I guess I wanted us to do something together. But if you want to do this on your own, I understand." In that moment, a quiet understanding passed between them. Teresa, as much as she wanted to hold on, knew it was time to let Gia fly on her own. Gia, feeling the surge of independence, knew this was her moment to take. As the season progressed, viewers watched Gia navigate the highs and lows of young adulthood, forming her own identity in the Big Apple. She started dating, exploring the city's nightlife, and attending exclusive events. She was gaining recognition not just for her family name, but for her talent and vision. And while Teresa occasionally slipped into protective mama mode, she also evolved. She became Gia's biggest cheerleader from a supportive distance, understanding the delicate dance between motherly guidance and letting go. Manhattan, with all its challenges and rewards, became the backdrop of Gia's emergence as a true individual, her own woman in a city where she could finally define herself on her terms. By the season finale, Gia had landed a coveted internship, received praise from designers, and started making a name for herself as a fashionista in her own right. Teresa, watching Gia soar, was reminded of her own dreams once again, finding new inspiration through her daughter's journey. In a final shot, Gia and Teresa shared a toast over brunch in a quaint cafe, the skyline of Manhattan glittering in the background. Both had changed in their own ways, and they were closer than ever. As they clinked glasses, Gia smiled, finally feeling like she had arrived, both in the city and in her own life.